Hi guys, Jamie at Clue Amateurs here. I hope you're doing well. Today I've got a knife review for you, and it's a review of a knife that I said I would never buy. Now I said that when I was reviewing this. This is my EDC, this is my Böker Plus Atlas Multi. Still EDC it, still love it. And at the time I talked about the Böker Plus Atlas, so the one without the scissors. And sure enough, I have one here. Now, I thought this would be far too thin for me to comfortably use, and sure enough, it is, at least for heavy tasks. But what I realised I needed was a work EDC knife. Now, I'm a chemistry teacher, and I have to wear suits to work. Teaching is one of those professions where we are still expected to wear suits. However, I still like to have a knife on me, but I like to have one that is really securely in my jacket pocket, so I know that only I can access it, no students can get their hands on it. And also, just put your minds at ease, I'm very careful about who I use knives around at work. I wouldn't exactly whip this out in front of a class full of small children, but around the office, when I'm working alone in my lab, and when I'm working with older children on experiments where I often need to cut things to length, it's super handy to have a good knife. What I needed was something that was super light, super slim, and pretty subtle. Because like many workplaces, mine is not particularly knife friendly, and so I needed something which just lived in my pocket and I knew it was there when I needed it. And the Böker Plus Atlas, not the Atlas Multi, I think fitted that bill exactly. So let's take a closer look at it. Let's start off looking at materials and the aesthetics. Now, I have popped my Böker Plus Atlas Multi in frame just for comparison, and just so you can kind of see how the regular Böker Plus Atlas is different to it. Looking at it, it's a pretty plain, minimalist looking knife. You've got this black stainless steel scale with the back spring poking through there, the lanyard hole inset there, bearing, nice thin curved pocket clip, and then once again that mirror finished blade. What we've lost here, I feel, is a lot of the nice styling cues that the Atlas Multi had. So if we take a look at that, we've still got the same cutaways on the side, but if we then look at the spine of the knife, we've got this nice brass liner, and we've got these nice holes drilled out in the top, which still gives it that industrial minimalist feel, but with just a little bit more kind of flair in the subtle little design cues. This has none of that though. They've really gone for a very plain design in the black one of these, which in my opinion, if you're looking for a nice subtle office knife, which you can occasionally use around people who are maybe not so comfortable with knives, that might be for the best. If you're in a workplace which is slightly more comfortable or welcoming of you carrying a knife, then you don't have to get this in black. You can also get it in the mirror finish stainless steel, same as the finish that I've got on my Böker Plus Atlas Multi, and they even do these in a brass and copper, which look awesome. They are slightly more expensive, but a really nice stylish knife. And if, say, you wanted to match them to your belt buckle or your watch or something, then that would definitely be something you could do. In terms of material, as I've said, these powder-coated scales, or handle rather, are stainless steel. And then popping the blade open, we've got that mirror finish on there, as I've said. And this is in 12C27 Scandiv, same as the Atlas Multi. So kind of a relatively hard, relatively corrosion-resistant steel, but still the kind of steel that you'd expect to find at this price point. So that's slightly more budget part of the market. Now, in terms of size, obviously the side-on dimensions are going to be exactly the same as that of the Böker Plus Atlas Multi, but as we're about to see, it is quite a lot thinner. So in terms of length, this is 9.5 centimeters long. Width is 2.5 centimeters, and depth is tiny at just 4 millimeters. That's excluding the pocket clip, which you can remove, but even if you don't remove it, obviously this is going to be clipped on your pocket. It's not going to be adding to the width that's in your pocket. Now, as I've said, the length and width of the Böker Plus Atlas Multi are the same, but taking a look at that, this is twice as thick. That is 8 millimeters thick without the pocket clip. Now, for those of you on the other side of the Atlantic, just go over those measurements again. So that's about 4 inches long, 1 inch deep, or wide rather, and 3/16 of an inch wide. So a really nice slim EDC knife that you can slip into the pocket of pretty much anything and it will just vanish into it and be there when you need it. In terms of the weight of the knife, if we just pop out the scales. Okay, so the Böker Plus Atlas weighs in at just 50 grams, whereas the Böker Plus Atlas Multi weighs in at 80 grams. So a really nice lightweight knife. As I've said, the reason I bought this is so I could pop it in a suit pocket and it not ruin the line or the hang of the suit. So super lightweight, super slim, and really easy to just vanish into a suit jacket pocket. So in terms of functions and safety features on this knife, obviously it is just a single bladed folder, two-hand opening, got a nice deep nail nick there. I cut my nails very short because working with a lot of chemicals, if you get chemicals under your nails, it's an easy way to get a nasty chemical burn, but that's nice and deep, really easy to grip, which is handy because this has a really nice heavy back spring. It's something I'm really pleased that they've incorporated into this line of knives. I know I mentioned when I reviewed this is the Böker Plus Tech Tool 1. I found the back spring far too light to have much confidence in it, and I would have been really worried about this shutting on my fingers. As such, this has become more just part of the collection. Whereas with these Atlas knives, I'm a lot more confident in that back spring that you can see peeping through there. In terms of the grip on these, as I feared, this is too narrow for a really comfortable grip with my great big hands. It kind of pinches a bit, but for those light duty office tasks, that's just not a big deal. If I'm opening a ream of paper or cutting some rubber hosing to length for an experiment or something, it's not a huge issue that this isn't super comfortable in the hand. I'm not going to be using this for heavy work or for hours at a time. Other features then, you've got this lanyard hole here. With the knife being so securely closed, you really could hang this from a lanyard if you wanted to. Again, kind of if you're in that knife-friendly office environment, this could probably hang on a lanyard with your work ID if you were working with people that were happy for you to do that. And as I've said, it's got this nice tight pocket spring. Now I have had to be a bit careful with this as this is very tight to the knife and it has kind of yanked on some of my jacket pockets a little bit. This is removable by these two torque screws, but I do like to have this clipped on a pocket just so it's not rattling around in there. What I've found with my Böker Plus Atlas Multi, which is my EDC, lives in the coin pocket of my jeans and I have it with me all the time when I'm not in work, is that over time that has loosened up slightly. So I'm sure that will eventually happen with the pocket clip on the Böker Plus Atlas as well. On the whole then, who would use this? Well, I think I've made that pretty clear with what I've been talking about so far. I think this is a great office environment work knife for anyone who likes to have a nice, sharp, reliable blade on them, but wants to keep it subtle or needs to have it in a suit that they don't want to ruin the line of. This would also be a great minimalist EDC knife for someone in a country like the UK with restrictive knife laws, though. It's sub 3 inches in length, it's non-locking, and as I've said, it's super subtle, super minimalist, and if that's what you go for in your EDC, then this would fit right in. Now, in terms of the price of these, this particular model is the cheapest one that's available. These go for £18 on Heine Haynes. If you want it in the mirror finish with the stainless steel handles, those are £19. But then if you are going to style it out and use this as more of an accessory than a knife, then for £26 you can get the brass or the copper scales. As I've said, these look awesome, but it's not what I was looking for, and so I chose not to splash out on the more expensive look. At this £18 price point, if I do accidentally end up somewhere with this where it does get taken away from me, it's just not the end of the world. It's not something I'm hugely attached to, and as such I can carry it with confidence, use it with confidence, knowing that if someone takes issue with it, it's not going to break my heart to have to hand it over. So in conclusion, hopefully you'll agree this is a great knife for kind of an office workplace where you just need that little bit of subtlety. So that's about it for the Böker Plus Atlas, my now go-to work EDC knife. If you're someone who works in an environment where you have to wear a suit, you still like to have a knife in your EDC, on your person, I would definitely recommend this knife, but don't expect it to be super comfortable if you've got great big hands or you want to try and use it for heavier tasks. That's just not what this knife is about. But on the whole, it's serving me really well at work, and I'm going to carry on carrying it. That's about it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do hit that like button. Do consider subscribing. We don't just do knife and gear stuff here. We do airgun stuff, a bit of car and truck stuff, even some science and engineering. There's all kinds of stuff going on here at Clue Amateurs. It'd be great to have you along for the ride. Right now though, this has been Clue Amateurs. I've been Jamie. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.